local student group's protest is now part of the True False Film Festival. Good evening, I'm Landon Burke.
And I'm Jenna Middahl. We have team coverage of the True False Film Festival tonight. We start with Emma Henderson, who tells us about a new documentary featuring the story of Mizzou student protesters.
Concerned Student 1950 captured the attention of the nation earlier this year with their protests, and it also led to the resignation of multiple high-powered system officials. Now it's being turned into a movie and is the latest edition in the True False Film Festival. Thank you! Jonathan Butler's hunger strike and the Mizzou football team's refusal to play in solidarity with the protesters had reporters flocking to Columbia from news outlets of all sizes. Varun Bajaj, Adam Dietrich, and Kellard Marvin, Mizzou documentary students, embedded themselves with the organization last fall, even camping out overnight, and were able to capture a very personal look at the movement's inner workings.
I think that it was like just a side of the story that you don't really see, is that people would sit around and play Heads Up and Never Have I Ever, and it was just a fun time to be together as students.
As Mizzou students themselves, filming the story at times had its challenges.
After the fact, after there was kind of the Melissa Click fallout and the football team story kind of came through, like that was when I started to wrestle with this, like I'm also a student.
A silent film version of the movie is showing Saturday downtown, and later that night the documentary will premiere at the Missouri Theater. The fact that it's premiering at True False is extra special to these filmmakers.
Having this film play here is super important to us because we really want to bring the conversation back to its starting point in Columbia.
This is the first film this team has ever made, and they still can't believe the outcome.
Like, I feel like the credits are going to roll on Saturday night, and then it's going to be Sunday morning. I'm going to wake up, and it's going to feel like it never happened.
Now you can see behind me what festival goers call the Great Wall, and that's where a 20-minute preview of this movie is going to be filmed tomorrow night, right before the official showing. Now we're going to send it over to Paxton DeBlasi, who's been covering the events of all day today.
I'm live out at the Picture House, where theaters all across Columbia like this one are still showing films, and as you can see, there's no shortage of people trying to get in. The line actually looped all the way around the block for people just trying to see the film, basically on standby. I got to see the beginning of the festivities earlier today with the March to kick everything off. Following the parade, there was actually a block party where parade goers and people who walked in the parade got to hang out and just, feel the energy, feel the vibes that were coming from the beginning of this festival. Following the parade, once the sun went down, VJ Suave actually had an animation show where he drove through the city streets and put up his animations all on the side of buildings. He's a Brazilian artist, and I had the opportunity to speak with one True False goer today who's a regular who walked in the parade earlier, and she says she loves the environment and she loves the energy created by the festival.
I think it's just the warmth of the community. You can really feel Columbia's true nature. And you can talk to somebody that you don't even know about something you would have never even thought existed, and it brings people together.
VJ Suave is also writing tomorrow, having his animation show tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. Reporting live from the Picture House, Paxton DeBlasi, KOMU 8 News.
Thanks, Paxton. Now we'll look at all things True False that aren't movies. KOMU 8's Krista Gamalik checked out some of the new features.
You really did feel like you were a part of the environment around you.
This six-time festival goer is describing one of the new activities offered at True False this year, virtual goggles.
There were a couple different times that I tried to reach out and touch something and then remembered, oh wait, I can't see my hands.
With these virtual goggles, people step into the shoes of a blind man and of a person falling in love. One simulation even mirrors what it is like to be in solitary confinement.
How you would count the bricks, how you would look at things and make designs in your mind facing the bricks, all kinds of unique examples of how your mind would change.
Virtual reality goggles are not the only thing attracting festival goers. One new activity combines interactive theater with puzzles, kind of like new escape rooms. But you'll have to buy tickets to learn more.
This is kind of a secret. We're trying to keep it a secret. So when groups come through here, we're telling them not to tell anybody about the things they're seeing, because for this experience to really work for the groups, they have to come in, as a totally clean slate.
For other new True False activities, you can take a look at our website, KOMU.com.
Tomorrow marks 70 years since Winston Churchill's famous Iron Curtain speech at Westminster College in Fulton. KOMU 8's Taylor Stevens is in the newsroom to tell us how one local radio group is commemorating the speech.
The Callaway Amateur Radio League is broadcasting worldwide today and tomorrow to honor Churchill's speech. People from around the world can reach out to the station to discuss the legacy of the speech and Churchill. League members say the speech meant a lot for the people of Fulton. They say the broadcast is a way for them to share that memory with others.
We just kind of enjoy it and see it as something special connected with our town and something that we can provide for other people around the country and around the world to remember Churchill's speech and the history here at Fulton.
League members told me they're expecting more than 500 contacts this year. The station will be broadcasting tomorrow as well, which marks the official anniversary of the speech.
Thanks, Taylor. The Department of Veterans Affairs addressed questions and concerns today at the Truman VA Medical Center. The quarterly town hall meetings became a requirement 2 years ago after many people felt veterans were not getting proper treatment. Veterans spoke out about concerns regarding difficulties getting a primary care doctor. The VA Medical Center director says several new projects are in the works for this year.
The other thing that we're really excited about is the new ICU. We'll be able to expand our ICU and treat more patients on our inpatient unit for intensive care.
Velocity says the new intensive care unit should be completed by December. The VA plans to have the new inpatient surgery completed by May of 2017.
A Callaway County car crash sent 2 people to the hospital this afternoon. The accident happened on Highway WW when the driver crossed the center line and overcorrected into a ditch. A highway patrol trooper says the passenger had serious injuries and the driver had minor injuries. Both were taken to Boone Hospital.
Members of the First United Methodist Church gathered to say farewell to the shell of a building after a massive fire overnight. This video comes from the Sedalia Democrat. Dirt rose in the air as cranes chipped away at the remains of the church. The church sat on that same corner since 1888. Residents say generations of families have grown up there. Boone County Sheriff's deputies found an out-of-state rental car today along with the 2 individuals they suspect had stolen it. The Sheriff's Department says 27-year-old Erica Williams and Kaplan C. Henderson were driving the Colorado-registered 2015 Toyota Corolla down Interstate 70. A license plate reader alerted deputies to the car. After searching, deputies found 1.5 pounds of marijuana. Both Williams and Henderson were arrested for vehicle tampering. Henderson faces charges for distribution, manufacturing, and possession of a controlled substance.
A 32-year-old Missouri man is in the Callaway County Jail tonight on a $4,500 bond. Brian Higginbotham was a person of interest in a January burglary off State Road near Williamsburg. Higginbotham had active cases in both Montgomery and Warren counties.
One ethics reform bill has passed through the state Senate. The legislation has multiple components that have to do with money raised for campaigns. The bill would change how campaign funds can be invested and used and would prohibit the money from being converted to personal gains. If passed, the measure would also force former public officials to dissolve campaign committees before registering as lobbyists. The bill now moves to the House for a vote. Well, it was pretty nice out there today. Let's send it over to Tori for a look at what we've got in store for this weekend.
Thanks a lot, Landon. We do have that cold front that's starting to move through the area this evening. Certainly for you coming up in just a bit.
Dr. Ben Carson has officially ended his campaign for president. The reason behind the suspension and his new role.
And how 20 years after a verdict was made, the case involving O.J. Simpson is back in the spotlight. The new findings in the investigation.